Hold on. Let me take a sip.
And we can talk about that. Hey, Friday.
What's up, Friday?
You got to sleep in just a little bit.
By my mic.
Yeah, you should.
Sorry.
You should be there.
You know why? Because I'm just chilling. I usually am sitting up
She's
straight
in her car
towards
seat. Just in case you're wondering, her chair is larger than mine.
A dick.
I broke the nuggets to my chair, so now
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
sort of on and off. So I have to remind myself to sit up straight because I'll fall out. And also, her chair is larger than mine.
We've been talking about this. Physically, my chair is larger, and I am also a smaller human, and it just makes it look
And I
worse.
said, why don't we just switch? But she wasn't giving up the new chair.
No, I
so-
like the new chair.
It's fine.
We bought the new chair for me for
I know,
my
right?
little behind to sit in this one seat.
She complained all season 2 or 1 about the chair.
That chair was awful.
So
it
we
was
got
like
the new
a
chair.
plastic kid's chair.
Well, it's funny because my husband took it up to his desk and then immediately broke it.
good.
He leaned back and it like cracked and he almost fell and I was like, bah!
It's perfect.
Nobody liked that chair anyway.
Nobody
It's
liked that
fine.
chair anyway. So I got an upgraded chair. Now
Yeah.
I want to switch.
And I'm not even doing coffee today. I've got lemon and orange tea,
All right. I don't know you.
right?
Sorry.
We ran out of milk and I'm a latte person. So I was like, I can't have coffee.
If it's not going to be exactly what you want, then it doesn't quite work.
Then it's tea.
yeah.
And that's the kind of Friday I've had.
Okay.
And I could have had RTB bring me in a coffee this morning for the morning show. But I forgot. And then I got up late because you were like, I'm not getting up. And I'm like, if she's not getting up, I'm not getting up. And
Yeah, pretty much.
And I
That's how
had
that
one of
went.
those mornings where I was wide the fuck awake at 3:00 in the morning.
Yep.
So like I snorted / swallowed wrong / just woke myself way up choking. And then I was coughing and I was like, that cough sounds weird. Like not my cough. Am I sick? I don't know if I'm sick. Like I was dead asleep when I woke myself up at 3 a.m. And since I caused such shenanigans, then my husband's up. Now he's up. Now he's got the TV on. Now I'm fully awake and
Now
it's
it's
a
3
fucking
a.m.
circus and I'm watching TikToks at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm not going back to sleep. So that's how I started my day.
Well,
So
Well.
it was aggressive. And so I was glad that it sort of lightly went into my morning.
the alarm went off, and I don't have to go work my day job today. And typically we come in, we record, and then I go and work my day job. So we
Right.
record really early in the morning. When I don't have to work my day job, I'm like, why the fuck am I getting up so early?
Exactly. And I say yes to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get to sleep in, do it.
Usually I just warn you, like, oh, I'll come in a little later. And this morning it was just like, I know my alarm just went off. I'm not
And
getting
it'll
up.
still be the First Shot morning show. It's just a little later in the morning. It's our Friday a little later. We mean
Friday
it.
a little later.
We tried. Yeah,
Oh my
we
God,
tried.
it's still morning. It's only 10 a.m. You guys.
Exactly. And it'll be
It's
out
fine.
before lunchtime. So
This is my first cup
Cheers.
of coffee, though, so I don't.
Oh.
Do you get caffeine headaches if you don't drink coffee?
no.
So you're not a true addict then?
No.
Oh.
Not to anything. It's amazing. Like I will be like such a substance user about everything and then not have a thing
If
happen
I
to me
don't-
afterwards.
I have a full caffeine addiction. Like if I
an
don't have a cup
anomaly.
of coffee, I can feel it by noon.
No, and like if there
So
are days
annoying.
where I don't have to be awake, I choose not to have coffee because I don't want to be awake. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want the perk me
Well,
up.
even if I wake up at 11, I still make sure that I have a cup of coffee, or by 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm in full migraine status.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. And the worst is when I'm really not feeling well, or I get up and I have things to do, but I need to have the coffee because I know I'm going to get a headache.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want this, but I have to suck it down anyway, or else, the Excedrin won't work. It's pretty miserable.
All right. I just need to push off my appointment. See what happens when we start later. Then appointments start rolling in. I'm fine
I'm
and
sorry,
don't apologize.
You can tell me no.
No.
You can be like, no, get your ass here because I got shit to do. I'd be like, okay.
No, I was happy for it.
Okay.
I was so down for it this morning
right.
because I was like, wait a minute. I have an extra 40 minutes and I took every single ounce of it.
So last night, I opened up a box. So I find that I shop more this time of year for clothing. It's like the fall and the spring.
It's a changing of wardrobes. It's a changing of guards.
And we get so much stuff in at work that I am motivated and inspired
You're like,
to
I
go
need to have
refresh
something
my
like that.
wardrobe.
That needs to happen.
And elsewhere. So, for example, we are opening up, oh my God, 1 billion new bathing suits. So what did I do? I went online and I bought a bunch of them. What maybe wasn't great, though, was like trying them on a Thursday evening after a full day of work.
And we're pale right now. It's
Yes,
not like
it was
cute.
not ideal.
No.
I was feeling good. Like, I had a really good ski season. I've like dropped a few. Oh, we are not feeling that anymore. Like, suddenly you put a bathing suit on, you're like, oh, the reality of this situation just hit real hard. The reality of the après hit real hard.
Yeah.
So we've got a short amount of weeks between now and bikini body season, and we are not remotely close to it.
I'm just embracing the shape that I'm in and now actually buying clothes for it. I had a solid 3 years of no, I'll lose weight. No. Now I'm just kind of it is what it is. And I can't wear yoga pants anymore. So I have to buy real people clothes. Even last Friday where you remarked I had pants on. I did. I purchased several amounts of pants.
Because it's always a roulette. I don't know whether you're going to have pants on when I walk in here.
Trust me, there are bottoms on. I just wouldn't call them actual pants. So I definitely have been better about refreshing my spring wardrobe and moving some stuff out and taking the bags of stuff that just tattered, worn.
I have that too. I
bare
have
t-shirts, stuff that is clogging up my closet so I can actually use my walk-in closet.
I have a whole pile of stuff that's
I'm
good
really
J. Crew
proud of
stuff
myself right now. You can currently walk in my walk-in closet.
Wow.
And things are mostly organized.
We love that.
I'm pretty proud of myself for it. So
it's amazing.
Baby steps.
Yeah, I should probably do that with the stuff that I just know is too small.
Everything else
you're
has gone
30.
to shit,
you can't fit in the shit that you were in 22. It has nothing to do with being big or not big or fat or skinny. It just has to do with you're 30, your body changes.
Yeah, and your styles are different too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a different wear completely.
Yep.
So embrace it, change it, but probably best to wait until
I'm
you
going to
have
get a spray
color.
tan before next time I try on bathing suits.
This is our PSA to you. Go gently with yourself as you're trying these things on for spring.
And I was taking pictures, trying to figure out if they looked good or not. Because sometimes you can look in the mirror and you're like,
well, maybe you hit spring break and you've already done this last month.
Yeah.
We're just late to the party, okay?
Because we're still in Cape Cod's third winter.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yep. We're embracing it. I know. I took the dog out again for another walk today and she's like, really? I don't want to do this. It's cold, Ma. I just don't. I'm too old for this crap.
All right.
Are we ready to get into what's roasting?
I think we are.
Okay, so since you've wrapped up your après ski body, as you're referring to it as.
My beer and cheese après ski body.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow has wrapped up her après ski situation.
I love this.
Did you watch the video?
No.
The video was great.
It was?
Because the woman that was reading the verdict in this case, where she asked only for $1 in her countersuit, she got it.
Oh my gosh, did you see the clip? Sorry to interrupt you. Did you see the clip where the I don't know the proper terms. The accusing attorney? That's not the right thing. But you know what I mean?
What about
the defendant's attorney? No, she's the defendant. Whatever. The other guy's lawyer was talking to Gwyneth Paltrow and said, are you friends with Taylor Swift? Because they were trying to relate the cases where Gwyneth Paltrow is coming back to sue for $1 countersue as opposed to more money. And that's what Taylor Swift did.
I just don't understand why this is such a big story. I don't get it. I mean, I am glad. What made me happy about the ending of this case is they're reading the verdict and it was fine. And then Gwyneth's lawyer said, hey, do you mind if we just let her get out of here before all of this empties out?
Yeah.
And she gets up and she walks over to him, puts her arm on him, and is like, I wish you well.
Yeah.
And then left. And I was like, classy.
Classy.
It really was because she looked like she genuinely meant it.
Yeah. I'm sure she did.
I was like, what did she say? Did she tell him to fuck off? Because I
probably would have. I think she's like, this was a case in the bag. Like, I was not at fault. I had no evidence to support your case. You're being a loser. You're not going to get my money. I know I'm right in this case, so I'm not going to even give you money enough to pay you off.
Right.
So, but the reality is, you're clearly in a situation here where you need good vibes. But she just had to waste
$10,000 on defending herself for some shit bag that was looking for money.
Yeah, but it's better than
is going to have to pay.
Yeah, but it's better than giving it the $10,000 to him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, he wanted $1 million. He wanted millions
$3.1 million was his first suit.
Absurd.
I can't believe the trial went on for a week. That was, to me, was shocking.
Yeah, it was silly. It was silly. It's over, and here we are. We're done talking about it.
Another wrap-up story.
She was classy, though.
She was very classy. Another wrap-up story. Avril Lavigne and Tyga have confirmed, not confirmed, but kind of confirmed they're seeing each other.
I don't even care. I'm like, guys, just go enjoy your life. Go enjoy your life. Why are you confirming anything to us? We're nobodies.
They're very into each other.
Good.
But here are the deets. They're still not exclusive and just getting to know each other. They're taking things very slowly to be on the safe side and really get to know each other before diving into something serious. But they're spending a lot of time together. Like
enjoy each other.
Okay, so you're dating? That's what that means?
Get gone.
How do these people meet? Is there like an app that connects famous people?
I don't know. Well, I just saw that Lana Del Rey is engaged, and I was excited for that situation because she's been quiet.
She's been super quiet.
It's not like this situation where we're like, yeah, we know you're together. Yeah, we know you're together. Oh, we're not. Okay,
Watch them
we
be
are.
engaged next week.
Duh. Well, yeah, I don't know. She's been engaged a lot.
Has
She was married to Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. She has questionable
I didn't
taste
know
in men.
that.
Questionable.
Once again, let's have a podcast where I don't have any idea who anybody is or anything that's
Oh my
happened.
God. And then the other rock star she was married to.
I've
Derek Wembley.
that one I knew about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, sure,
Weird.
but I know, but I'm also kind of here for the content. Like if it's gonna pop up on People Magazine that you bought her $1 billion necklace, like okay, I kind of want to know.
She's somebody though that doesn't have a type. They're all very different.
That is true.
Mod Sun, like all of that, like very different.
I don't really understand. I will say this: she definitely has a type. None of those
None of the above.
are my type.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
Like I don't look at any of her exes and be like, I see it. No, I don't.
None of them.
No.
0 of them.
So is it an internal thing? It's a personality thing. Maybe?
I don't know. Maybe that's her try hard punk style.
I like
don't
to
know.
think I don't have a type. Do you have a type?
Yes,
Yes.
I do. Well, my ex doesn't look like my current ex. Like my former ex. They look.
Your
they're
husbands don't look alike? That's
No.
what you're trying to say?
the same body type, though. The same
Yeah.
shaped human.
Okay.
Just one with like facial hair and one that's like loves to be clean shaven, is a professional golfer.
So was it
like, definitely different people?
what is it like, is your type like a personality thing? Is your type like a physical thing?
No, well, they're both kind of dicks. So
Don't call dad out like
a
that.
sarcastic person that can
Yeah.
handle me, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. But also like a very strong male that is like very confident in who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
They are both those people.
Yeah.
Like they are very much the same type of human.
Yep.
They just use their powers for good and evil a little differently.
Okay.
But they kind of are like the same shape of a person.
Yeah.
There's not much deviation from even like the 2 guys before that. Like it's very much I have a type.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's very weird.
That's fine.
And I am also a lot. So I am
Yeah.
the thing that demands this type of man.
Yes. A man that can handle you for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely have a type of guy. They don't stray from what I feel is good looking. And then even my girls tease me about it. They're like, oh God, they're all the same.
Like we know all of mom's crushes and they all look the same.
Even like it's like that Jason Momoa kind of guy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that same
It's so funny. I definitely,
type of man.
yeah, agreed. That like,
Give
big,
no shits. Big guy.
yes.
Burly. Don't give a fuck what I look like. It's just that guy.
So totally, yes, agreed. Maybe we're friends because we like the same kind of guys. But I've like seriously deviated from that type recently.
Really?
I don't know if it's trauma.
Like, let's try this. We've talked
Yeah.
about the flavors of Tori's dating. So you've
Yeah.
strayed from that and you've gone
Yeah.
to a different realm.
Tall is like gotta be consistent. I don't do well. I don't know why. And I feel bad about it because I'm 5'0". I've said this before. Like if anybody should date a short man, it should be me.
Short
Because
guys but they're
little.
they have emotional baggage.
I feel like that's a bit of a generalization, but a true one.
It's true. It's a Napoleon
Everybody's
complex.
got emotional crap. But yeah, that one is very specific.
Yeah, and that's like an emotional bag you don't want. You have your own. You're like, mine's full. I'm good.
True. Yeah.
I need bigger problems. Let's look around.
Oh my God, it's so, when you said that, that is so true. I 100% look for the guy that's like seen some shit.
Yep.
And like been through some shit.
Yep.
And I think because it'll make me feel less
it makes
better
me
about
feel-
my
yeah,
shit.
Correct. My problems are nothing compared to this guy's problems.
It's not even that. It's just like if you don't understand a little bit of what I'm talking about, or you can't commiserate, or you can't relate to some of my vulnerabilities,
Yeah.
then
We don't want
I
it.
can't
We're
fuck
not
with
here
this.
for it.
Like I can't do. I don't know. Like I don't know how to. I just find somebody who's had a perfect life unattractive.
Yeah. Well, it's not. There's nothing to talk about. There's no substance to the relationship, and it doesn't make. There's no
Yeah.
layers.
There's a meme out
You're
there that's like,
you're just one paper. It's so. And getting a resume.
Yeah.
That's That's it.
And I would say the other thing that like I've noticed for me has been
Boring.
a thing. Like a guy that's got career drive is huge. Like if he's or whatever, he's doing something, he's driven to get something done in his life. That I find.
I agree.
If you've seen some shit and you want to do some shit, then you can call me.
It's true because I don't find that attractive.
And you're
like
6
that,
feet tall.
Yeah, that Xbox life or that like whatever. I'm going to live here in my mom's basement and I aspire to do nothing other than I'm surviving.
It's not even that. Like, you got to want to do something. You got to have a sense of adventure and you got to have a sense of I like to take risks. That's what it is.
Yep.
It's the drive and the
somebody to
take a
get
risk.
in it with you. Like, let's get in it together. What are we doing?
Yeah, especially because you know me, like I will decide I want to do something and then a week later I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a plane ride, whether it's a project, whether it's something like I figure out how to get it done. I want to do it. I go do it.
You two can make bad decisions with Tori. She's available. So that's why I was excited when Lana Del Rey was engaged because she's the queen of making bad decisions, writing songs about it, angsty heartache.
Yeah, but her music
emotionally wonderful lyrics.
Her music is superb.
Absolutely. No one's negating that.
Love that.
I just think it's funny that she's gone kind of quiet and then all of a sudden I've started to see her pop up and she's engaged.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like I think that's a good thing.
Well, you know what else that happened with?
I feel like that's true happiness.
But
Is when
also-
you don't want to share it with people.
Also happened with Jonah Hill. His girlfriend is pregnant.
Yeah.
Didn't
even know.
They were seen out at a kid's store in Hawaii in September, and now suddenly we're in March, and she's like walking around with a full baby bump. Like, didn't make an announcement, didn't do anything. They're just,
I think
she's
that's
just
the,
pregnant.
That's
and they
the
were
new,
like, wait, shit, that's Jonah Hill and his very pregnant girlfriend in Santa Barbara. Cool.
because that's the new way with Hollywood because they have to be that way because they get it picked apart. And it's like what feels like is just a 9-month pregnancy is like 2 years worth of material for the media.
Yeah.
So if they can mitigate it in some fashion to like be left alone for just some small bit, they'll do it.
I would think too when you're going, especially. I mean, I don't know. I haven't had kids. When you're going through your first pregnancy and you're already nervous and scared about all the different things, the last thing I would want is to be followed around and like picked apart by everybody. And I don't know.
I had a lovely first pregnancy. I really did.
You did?
I did because I wasn't around any family. I wasn't around any friends. I was in South Carolina, just following my husband around while he's a professional golfer and living my life and doing my show and being at the radio station, working in a bakery for snacks. I mean, it really was pleasant.
Working in a bakery for snacks.
And my best friend Meredith. It was my best friend Meredith.
That's awesome.
So if you ever visit Three Little Birds in Charleston, tell Meredith Stephanie sent you.
That's on my list. I want to go there so bad for a weekend.
Absolutely.
I have a few places. Charleston is on my list.
Yes. We should go together. That should be our trip this year.
Okay, done.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I
right,
do.
girls trip.
Love it.
Perfect.
We'll just pick a weekend.
Let's pick a weekend. Yes, please.
Oh, wow, guys.
Look
that
at
was
us.
easy.
We're getting stuff done
This is
today.
how we run the business. You want to do that? Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's do it tomorrow.
And I mean it, though. And we'll do it. So, yeah, we're happy for Jonah Hill. We're happy for Lana. And
so much love in the news today.
seriously, this is good, though.
We're not happy for Avril and Tyga, though?
I feel like it's too much. I'm like, Avril, go away. There's time. Just go away.
I wonder if she's like, I haven't been in the media for so long, and now I decided I like this guy a little bit, and now suddenly I'm fucking blowing up everywhere.
I'm 43. Notice me. Is that what happened?
Well, do you think she's looking for the attention, or do you think she's like, shit, I now have to deal with this again because I like this guy, and he's been a baby daddy to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Famous
He's
people.
lived a life. And that's something I would not be interested in. I don't need to be dragging around your dirty dirt from your past relationships. Not interested.
You know who I think does a really good job of the relationship stuff, keeping it quiet, is Kylie Jenner.
Ugh.
I know,
They're
but
coming back in May.
yeah, we'll
They'll
have
be back to our
What is it,
show?
Fridays?
Yeah, I think so. Fridays or
Fridays we
Wednesdays.
talk
yeah.
about it?
We put it all to Friday.
put it all
so.
to Friday, so you don't have to listen to us talk about the Kardashians all week. But anyway, she and her, what's his face? Baby daddy. What's his name?
Aren't they broken up?
Yes, but it was not, for who she is, it was not a big deal. It like went out in the media like, oh, they're not together at the moment. And then just moved. Like, she's got 2 kids with them. It just
That
was
was
like,
it.
it is what it is.
Thank you for your
And then
donation. I have great kids.
And then moved on. It
Yeah.
was not a big thing. There were no spotted pictures. There was nothing between the two of them. It was just super
Because
quiet
usually
and moved right on.
that's the fights in relationships. If you're emotionally ready to move on and there's no financial situation in between you, You don't need to fight about things as
Yes,
much.
but I'm not even speaking about their breakup. I'm speaking about like how they are able to handle the media surrounding their personal business when it comes to their love life.
She doesn't go out.
Or think about
She keeps it within the family.
Chloe. Like even Chloe, why don't I keep Tristan? Obviously it was all over. But she personally stayed super quiet, didn't do anything, had it in the episode, but then even stayed quiet. She wasn't out doing interviews. She wasn't talking about it. She wasn't like being spotted. She wasn't doing like the way that they handle their fame when it comes to their relationships, I think is super interesting. Same thing with Kim. Kim has come out and said, I don't talk about Kanye publicly. It's not fair to my kids. Something about how they're able to manage their media coverage, but then
It's called money.
That's true. No, it's called momager.
Yeah, momager and money. And I can't not watch that mother video anymore with Meghan Trainor and Kris Jenner as the official mother of all mothers.
I mean, it was kind of appropriate.
But it's an earworm. I can't get that
earworm.
friggin' song out of my head.
You played it in Music Bingo this week.
Mm-hmm. It's been stuck in my head all week long.
I don't love it. You know why? Because I can't relate to it. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, you're not there.
I don't understand. And also, like, why are we? Isn't Megan's kid like 2? Like,
She's
why are
pregnant? She was pregnant in the video for that.
Okay, but
Currently now.
she's singing about her 2-year-old attitude.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
I think she was more singing it to her husband, but that's a whole other story. We're not unpacking.
So then
today.
that's even weirder.
It is so
I'm your
awkward.
mother.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like mother. Okay,
Right?
I gotta move on.
Who's not a mother, Jennifer Aniston. She has some comments that is out there right now, which I kind of like.
I love the fact that America's Sweetheart came out and said something that's like a little bit provocative, but like nobody can disagree with.
Yeah.
As you know, I think she doesn't get enough credit for being a starlet in comedy. She was in Friends. She's done how many movies with Adam Sandler? Like
she's dry.
Yeah.
She's dry.
Yeah.
And she is maintained trying to stay out of the limelight her entire career.
Totally.
It's like, I'm not in here for this drama. I'm not about this.
I just like that she is totally this like center. She's totally like a top comedian, but she doesn't really get recognized for it.
Yeah.
So
no,
then for her to
she's
turn
not.
around and make comments about this, I think, well, why? Because she doesn't do stand up?
Yeah, she's not that kind of comedy.
But she
It's
is
dry,
a pillar,
witty humor.
But she's a pillar in it when you look at her movies and her filmography.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that the
for
right
sure.
word? Is that the word? Is that the right word? Filmography?
You're allowed to use it.
No. I'm just questioning my own use of that. Anyway.
If you like to question it and write down the right one, you totally can.
No, somebody should tell me what that word actually is that I'm trying to say so I don't
It's not
embarrass myself.
It's not cinematography, but
No.
it's just like if you're
Might be
looking
filmography.
if you're looking at her
If you're
works.
looking at our IMDb page, what is
Yes.
that?
Yes.
What is the word for that? Anyway, I think everything she's ever done though is in comedy, so she is a comedian
I wouldn't classify her as that.
because she doesn't do stand up.
No, just because I think she's humorous, but she's a dry comedy. It's not. I don't think that she's a comedian. I just wouldn't classify her as that.
I kind of disagree.
She's an actress.
I think for sure, but she's been in more comedy movies than she's been in dramas.
More rom-com.
But it's still a version of comedy.
It is.
Rom-com, romantic comedy.
Yeah, but I would throw her in the more romantic comedy situation. I just would not call her a comedian.
I think that's doing her a disservice. I think she is a comedian. I think she's been in the comedic space. I think it's just an atypical, traditional, what we know of as a comedian and what, she's not doing stand-up. She's not on SNL. Like, she's had a little bit of a different path. But I think she is like a pillar in comedy movies as the female protagonist. Or the
I see what
other
you're
half.
saying, but I'm still not going to call her a comedian.
Okay, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But anyway, her comments.
Which I loved.
Comedy has evolved. Movies have evolved. Now she's speaking about Friends. Now it's a little tricky because you have to be very careful, which makes it really hard for comedians because the beauty of comedy is that we make fun of ourselves, make fun of our life. But there's a whole generation of people, kids, who are now going back to the episodes of Friends and find them offensive. There are things that were intentional, things that were never intentional, and others, well, we maybe should have thought through, but I don't think there was that sensitivity like there is now.
Yeah,
and I totally agree.
Yeah, it's important to look through things at the lens of when this was released.
Yeah. 1994 to 2004 with 10 seasons.
And I don't think that was like the most Friends was banal at that point in time. Now you look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you said all of those things. But go back further to some of those. I mean, look at the 50s and 60s.
Oh my God, yeah.
At what?
How about the posters that they put out in the 50s about women needing to stay in their homes and men providing for the women, and the woman was like in too short of a skirt bending over a stove.
We were really shitty people.
A women's place belongs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like my generation has definitely had to do the most bridging of the gap because we went from Boomer Town to this new world order.
Yeah.
So I feel like all of us are kind of like, but we don't care. We were raised on grunge, man.
Yeah, we were raised on grunge.
Seriously, though, we did. Like, we were the ones that like had our feelings and kept quiet about it. So we don't understand airing it. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot for us to be like, just saying that out loud, it makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We all just felt that. We didn't say it.
I would think about, there's other shows that I think to me are worse than this one. Like I think about Will and Grace, which is so interesting because that show, or 2.5 Men is another good one. Those shows were interesting because they kind of broke some social norms of what we saw on television. Will and Grace had, a lot of gay presence, and 2.5 Men was, had a commentary on a sexual single male living with other men, and it was like an interesting dichotomy there. And so the jokes are around that, but a lot of those things you could not say today.
Right. But you take a show like Golden Girls that was clever then, is still clever and still loved and beloved.
Yeah.
Because it did tackle hard issues.
Yeah.
But it did it with such an old lady comedy that is timeless.
Yeah.
Because it was so no one was offended.
Yeah, I think Friends, there's definitely, of course, some things that were relevant then that are not necessarily relevant now. But as long as you can look at it with that perspective, I think it's one of those things where people are just going to be like, that's what it was back then.
Yeah.
And just go with it. I don't think it's going to ruin the franchise. I think it's going to still be the big piece that it is. Sex and the City is another good one. Like, oh my God, you look at some of that stuff that Carrie was doing in that show, and everybody from a modern woman looks at Carrie and goes, oh my freaking God, I can't believe you're doing this stuff. However,
that was out there then.
However, and it's like a classic
that was
show.
Cutting edge then.
It's another one of those like we're breaking social norms by putting some of this stuff on television, and again talking about some hard issues in that show too. Maybe they didn't address them in the right way, but they definitely were giving a spotlight to some other things going on. STDs came up in that show. On atraditional marriages and atraditional relationship situations where you're having babies outside of weddings and things like that. I think the show did a really good job. Obviously, some of the jokes are not necessarily great now. The character development not great now, but you just look back and you're like, that's a show.
Just take it like the beginnings of these conversations. The first time you start talking to someone, it's awkward, right? It's uncomfortable. But eventually, when you build a relationship, things get better. And I feel like that's just like one of those things. When you're the first to talk about these things that are not regular TV or what we've been used to or what was societal accepted norms, and we're changing that whole conversation as we're evolving.
And the evolution is great.
We're growing up.
Having the evidence that the evolution exists is even better.
Correct. We don't need to tear it down. So I thank you, Jennifer Aniston, for once again just being the classy individual that you are. We appreciate
and
you.
we appreciate your Smart Water campaigns always because you're so gorgeous. What's Neutrogena? It's like Smart Water or Neutrogena. Those are the two brands I always
exactly.
associate
You're like,
with her.
oh, classy. Stay classy, Jennifer.
Yep.
Also staying classy. I love that Lizzo's shapewear. By the way, we're open for endorsements right now, and Lizzo's shapewear is saying that we support every body, which I love.
Yeah.
And I've talked to many people that have purchased and tried some of these under stuff, and they love them. They love her shapewear. They love her support wear. It's functional for pretty much everyone.
That's
apparently.
exciting.
And now they're having first gender neutral line that's ever been out there.
Wow, that's
which I think is
huge.
awesome because I'm so sick of gendered toys and gendered clothes, and even my daughter was shopping with her friend who's having some gender situations going on in her life where they're queer and questioning and they don't know what they're going to be tomorrow, and they felt just really uncomfortable when they went thrifting and there was a sale on women's clothes but not men's clothes.
Yeah, it's hard.
It was just one of those things like, why?
Yeah.
Can't we just have a sale on bottoms? Or tops. Like,
Yeah.
why does it have to be a certain...
I think we're evolving in that direction.
We
though.
are. So I really love that this is the first line to support everybody. I think that's great. It's a great campaign.
I noticed.
Giddy it is.
I noticed recently. So J. Crew, the company I work for, is doing we're in a huge year this year with a lot of stuff going on because it's our 40th year.
Yep.
And part of that was we did a whole 40th campaign where we took some of our classics that we've made over the years and we've redone them, refinished them, and basically re-release them. Stuff that was like iconic from the 80s, 90s, thousands, pretty much all the different decades, right? And what I loved is that there is a whole portion of this icon campaign, classics, where some of the pieces are men's and they're putting them in women.
Love it.
And we have been, as a company and as associates, talking about this for years. Like, as staff, we shop both genders because the clothing is great. And sometimes you find a sweater in men's that you love and you're a woman and you don't care and you're going to throw your hair in a messy bun and
the
you're not.
style right now is like those bulkier jackets for women.
It's
and
awesome. So we were so excited to see such a public campaign between something that's been going on with the J. Crew customers and the J. Crew staff for years now, where everybody's kind of just shopped both genders.
But just in people's life, where it's just gender neutral. You like what you like. You pick your style and you stick with that, regardless of what it is gender wise.
I was just talking about this with a friend. My favorite thing to wear, my favorite outfit of all time to wear, is a suit.
Exactly.
I just feel so good in it.
Yeah.
I look so good. I look put together, but it's a little bit edgy and a little bit down to earth. I would prefer that all day against a dress. And
especially in a business like atmosphere, I feel better when I've got like a jacket on. I feel like I'm just like I'm serious. It's business time.
Yeah.
It's business time, Stephanie. I got my jacket on.
I've worn suits to 2 weddings.
But you can still wear it with a cute crop top and like some fun
if
pants.
you want to, or don't.
Right. Exactly.
Or don't. Anyway, the point of this is really excited for Lizzo's shapewear company. I'm interested to see how this competes with Skims, because Skims' campaign is really kind of about embracing all those different body types.
Yeah.
When you look at their website, it's a lot of really small pieces on great, beautiful, larger women and the other way around. And personally, I don't shop that brand, but I know a lot of people do because of their inclusivity. So I'm interested to see how the two kind of compare.
Stack up with each other for
but
sure.
I think Lizzo did a really good job in including the queer community right away. Like, that's going to set her apart.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So sometimes we talk about TikTok trends on Friday.
I love this one.
And you've got one to share?
I love this one.
All right, talk about it.
So we know I'm a big reader.
Yeah, it's good.
I read a good book. I like to alternate. I read a good book and then I read what we refer to as smut.
That's good balance.
Yeah, I just try to. I feel like they've made their way accidentally into my Kindle, and then you get halfway through them before there's some ridiculous sex scene. But now you're halfway through it, so you have to finish the book.
I'm here for it.
And by the way, it was one of a 8-part series, so now I have to read the whole series. And now suddenly I'm reading 8 books worth of sex scenes, but it's great. But now there's this whole part of TikTok, this whole side of it called BookTok, and I'm getting a little bit deep into it.
Okay.
I love the recommendations. I love all the pieces of it. But I love this. The women are reading something in their smut books.
Okay.
These ridiculous scenes and pieces and, things that the guys do. And then they're asking their boyfriends and husbands to reenact them.
That's okay.
I love that. So it's like he pushes her up against the door frame. No guy has ever... Guys don't... I'm going to...
That's staying. I'm going to revisit that another time. Tell me more, Tori.
Anyway, it's really great. I'm just like realizing this is going to be a clip.
What?
Anyway, so now you've got women asking their husbands and men to like push them up against walls and door frames and filming it and then being like, scene, page, blah, blah, blah from
Check.
this book. Yeah. Which I think is really funny.
Well, whatever. Anything in a healthy romance, I'm so down for.
Hashtag door frame lean with 14.7 million views.
Please. That's what started everybody with the freaking Christian Grey and that whole inappropriate situation.
Yeah, now we're on TikTok.
Yeah, right. Now they're taking it to the TikTok.
Yeah, that I think just put the genre on blast, but
so rewinding to me waking myself up at 3:00 in the morning. Now I'm watching TikToks. It was like dogs and cats. It was not BookTok.
I accidentally got into this because I'm looking for actual legitimate book recommendations.
You're like, wait a minute.
And
what
I
is this
really
saucy
there's
number?
there's this whole section of books where they're fantasy, but they're fantasy with smut. And I, as a nerd, grew up on Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and like all. Now I'm an adult, and so I'm like, this looks good. It's like an adult fantasy. There are these characters, but they're still fairies and pretty dresses, and like I'm into it. And then suddenly they're going at it, and I'm like,
What happened
all
here?
right.
This took a turn.
This is
I
the
wasn't
adult
expecting this.
portion.
Well,
Got
people
it.
like it. 14.7 million people liked
14.7 million.
the door lean video. So, all right, door frame lean it is tonight. Hey, Frisky Friday, right?
I can't believe I just stopped myself dead ass in the tracks and was like, never mind.
Yeah. Because then there's a full line of questioning to be happening afterwards. And you know me. And you know this. So we also do content recommendations on Friday. So what have you got for us?
Daisy Jones and the Six. Done.
Well, Riley Keough, I was totally blown away by her acting abilities. But also then today in the news came out that she had some secret child in there with her. She's married. It's not like a love child or anything like this. But I don't know how you channel Daisy Jones' character with either just having a baby or currently pregnant with a baby. Like,
well,
it's a heavy character.
It's
a feelingsful character.
Not to have any spoilers, so spoiler alert. But the relationship that she's got with her mom, which really comes into fruition in the beginning of the show and the end of the show, you really see.
But for her to lose her mom, like be
Yeah.
pregnant, go through what she's going through with Graceland. If you did not know, she's Elvis's granddaughter and not the sole heir of Graceland, but she's one of her siblings.
So
in the
she
mix.
and her generation of siblings essentially inherited Graceland, but her brother passed away. I want to say suicide.
Yeah, it was not great.
Her younger brother passed away by suicide, I believe. And her other, I want to say they're siblings, but they're like half siblings.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm not quite sure. They're too young to really be involved in the process. So she's really kind of not the soul in.
Well, Priscilla's coming after it, and I'm like, is Priscilla broke? Is what the bottom line is people are saying. And here she is
And she's saying, I'm trying to protect it, but now they don't have a relationship. We've talked about that a little bit. But the show is
it's wild. And then
incredible.
to see her in this show so poised, so wonderful, and really adding depth to a character that was not that way in the books.
So did you read the book?
I did read the book.
So I have said I actually preferred the show. This never happens. I preferred the show to the book. I think there was way better character development in the show than the book really got into. And
Every
I love
character
that author.
and lots of strong females, which I love.
Yes. Suki Waterhouse is
Really, really good.
unbelievable in
Really
that
good.
show. And the woman who plays Camilla, I think, is like the most stunning person I've ever seen
She's
in my
really
life.
beautiful. But also their acting abilities, it was just a very, very well written show.
It was super
I was
well done.
hook, line, and sinker into it. My husband, who wanted nothing to do with it, was all of a sudden, but now what? All involved in it and could not be involved in it.
Yep.
It's really great. The music is great. Normally when there's singing involved in shows and there are singing episodes, and I'm like,
I've listened.
This was good.
I have saved all of the tracks and all the playlists on my Spotify because the music
great.
is incredible. And the headlining track, Look at Us Now, was written by Mumford & Sons and Mary Morris.
Yeah.
Just unbelievably done.
That doesn't happen for me often.
No.
Where I'm watching something I think the TV show Nashville was kind of like one of the only other ones that I could stomach because they were actually making real music.
Yes, the
and
whole
it was
time.
Really, and they're actually
There's a few songs
able to sing.
I still listen to. Telescope.
Yeah.
Is so good. There's a few songs in that show too that I
So
like.
I'm glad
still
that
have
we
my
both are
playlist.
having a Me Too moment as far as that goes because I hate the all of a sudden musical episode, and you and I have definitely talked about this.
Yes.
Where it's just like, oh, it's so awkward.
Like Grey's Anatomy did one. Everybody was trying to do the Glee thing for a while. No, it was not great.
Yeah.
This is I absolutely.
And then what's the other one that you and I watched? That cesspool of a show that has 4,000 seasons, Dynasty.
Yes.
Where they all of a sudden have a musical
they did do
episode,
that.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but that's also a
why?
good show,
It's
too.
Bad.
This was the first show in a very long time where I absolutely sobbed at
it
the
was really
finale.
good.
And then as soon as the finale was done, went back immediately to season 1. Within 6 minutes. I was like, I gotta start from the beginning again and watch it again. And now I'm
And watch the parts I missed for sure.
And the costumes are so good. The styling is so good. That scene where they are filming the cover of their album out in the desert and Daisy's sitting in the chair. Oh, I just think the sets,
It's
the costumes,
really good.
the directing is incredible.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I definitely. say yes to that.
That is on Amazon. If you're curious, Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote the book. I love
Read the book, watch the show.
Yeah, but definitely watch the show. It's 10 episodes. Really, really, really well
and
done.
they're all out now. They're finally all out.
Who's the guy that plays Billy Dune?
Done?
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
I looked up his...
And Timothy Oliphant all of a sudden's in it. And I'm like, what? Seriously?
Yes.
All right, now you're a manager. Okay.
My favorite thing about the show was I thought he was so good and so hot and was, got into his character through the seasons. And I was on the last episode and I paused it and looked up his, I'm going to use the word again, filmography, and looked up all the things that he did. And I realized, like...
His name is Sam Claflin.
Okay, he low-key has been, like, my Hollywood crush and a bunch of other things that I just didn't know. And he just transforms into these characters. And I love him in this, and I love him in this, and love him in this, and had no idea it was the same
You're
person.
like, I had no idea.
Literally no idea it was
Here
the same
you
actor.
are.
So now...
From Pirates of the Caribbean to
Yes.
the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I was like,
Welcome.
oh shit, when I was that old, you were my crush in that movie? Oh shit, I loved you in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Isn't that so funny? Enola Holmes, Love Rosie,
Yeah.
Me Before You. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in every single one of those movies that I watched. He was a standout character, the standout guy that I was like, I kind of like him.
And he's
now,
hot and British. And you can't even tell on the show.
no complaints about that. If
Right?
he wanted to come to Cape
There's
Cod for a
something about that
weekend-
British accent, I'm telling you what. So we say yes. That is definitely a great suggestion for our Friday for Content Rex.
Zing.
Because I checked that too. I was going to go into The Last of Us since America's obsessed with Pedro Pascal right now.
We can.
The man is eating a sandwich and he's all of a sudden just become a meme. But The Last of Us, if you've not watched it, give it another shot because it
She's
has
yelling at me.
layers. You wanted to hate it. I know.
I know. A friend of mine lectured me
know.
on the same thing. Here's the thing. I got 20 minutes into it, realized it was about zombies, and turned it off.
But it is just a good, true to a video game show.
Yeah.
And the different strong female characters.
Yeah,
in
the
it that are
argument
really
I heard
good.
was it's not really about zombies. It's about the relationships of the people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great, but it's a disease. People it's zombies. It's zombies.
Yes, but I mean, yeah.
So I just need to make it through. Somebody told me,
and
like,
even
get it through the
RTV
first
was
3
very much
episodes.
against it, and he was like, no, it was good. He
Okay.
didn't want to like it either.
So somebody said get through the first 3 episodes, and then it gets better.
I liked it immediately.
Oh.
But yeah, like the stories behind the characters in their lives prior to and what they're going through right now. And like, just this is what I'm faced with. And this is what I'm dealing with sometimes people have to be reminded, parts of life aren't great.
Yeah.
And this is what you have to deal with.
All right. Well, this week I'm really watching Love is Blind, the new season. But if I have a minute, I'll get into that.
I definitely can't get down with it.
Well, listen, somebody's got to be the reality TV show person on this side, and I didn't watch The Bachelor because I don't like Zach.
You.
So
I don't like him either.
he weirds me out.
There's something about his face. I don't like it.
There's something about his personality that reads to me wrong. I don't know what it is, but just like so ingenuine. I'm like, something about this. So I have don't ask me, don't DM me. I have
you and
no
I did
concept
not
about
talk
what's going
about
on.
this.
No.
But I felt the same because once I couldn't find the remote and it was just on, and I'm like, I don't like him. He's giving me bad vibes. I don't like his face. I don't know whether it's his mouth. I don't like the shape of his head. And I was just finding physical things wrong with him, but maybe it's just his personality.
I think it's just his vibe. I didn't like him when he was on the season, whoever, Rachel and Gabby. I didn't like him when he was
I
on
didn't even
that
know that.
season.
I know
I watched
nothing
that
about
season,
the
and then when
back
I heard
end.
when he was The Bachelor, I was like, forget it. I'm not watching. I don't care about it. But we'll see.
Well, this has been a very full episode. You've learned a lot about us.
So many things. I don't even went from talking about our type to...
And Tori's spicy book lean. I'm so down for it. So if you're going to get a door frame lean, and everybody, now I got to find out who that is. So we got to go. Get perky with us Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at The First Shot Morning Show. Tori Talks About Radio. Stephanie in the morning. Catch you on Monday.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.